Myself, Mr. H.T. Mate, Department of Botany, RBNB College, Srirampur. So today we are going to study the T.Y.B.Sc Botany, paper first BO 331, Cryptogamic Botany, and from this paper, the topic number 6, that is the life cycle of Puccinia graminis triticale. Now there are about 700 species of this Puccinia are found all over the world, and in India there are about 150 species. So the first classification of this Puccinia graminis triticale. Now the kingdom, that is the Mycota, and the reasons are chlorophyll is completely absent. Second reason, reservoir food material is the glycogen, and third reason, cell wall is formed by the chitin. Then the division Eumycota, a definite cell wall is present, that is by the chitin. Then subdivision Basidiomycotina, and the reasons are Mycelium is a septate. Second reason, Basidium is a reproductive body. Third, Basidospores are generally 4 in number. Then class Teleomycetids. The reasons are Basidiocarp is lacking. Second reason, Tiltospores are developed in a sori or in a sorus. Then order Uridinals. Tiltospores are terminal in position. Family Pucciniaceae. Tiltospores are stalked. Then genus Puccinia. Tiltospores are stalked, and Acacia are cupulate in position in structure. Now next point, that is the occurrence of this Puccinia graminis triticale on is both the host. It is obligate endoparasite. It requires the two different types of the host to complete its life cycle. So first host, that is the wheat. So this is the wheat leaf. And these are the iridopustules. Host is wheat leaf, and these are the iridopustules. This is the part of the wheat leaf. This is the infection of Puccinia graminis triticale. Now here there is the wheat leaf. This is the primary host. It is the monocot host. The name of the host is the wheat. Now this is the wheat leaf, and on this first figure there is the infection, and this infection is called as the pustule, and it is generally formed by the iridospore. So it is called as the iridopustule. Now in second figure there are the two different types of the infection are seen. These infections are formed by the iridospore and tiltospore. So they are combined with each other, and they are rusty in appearance. So this Puccinia is also called as the rust disease. So this is on the primary host, that is on the monocot, that is the leaf. And generally there are the two spore stages are developed, that is the iridospore and the tiltospores are there. So infection is also of these two types of the spore stages. Now second host, that is the barberry. Host barberry leaf. They are generally found in Himalaya. Now this Puccinia requires the secondary host, which is also called as the alternate host, and it is generally the barberry leaf, and it is found in the Himalaya. Now on this host, that is on the barberry host, leaf, there are the two stages. Now first, the appearance in the first, that is from the dorsal surface, there is the infection of the pycnospore, and it is called as the pustule of the pycnospore. Now from ventral side, that is from the lower side, there is an infection of the acetospore, and it is called as the pustule of the acetospore. Now there are the two different types of the stages which are developed on the barberry leaf, that is the pycnospore stage and the acetospore stage. Now the next character, that is the appearance. It is rusty in appearance, and so it is called as the rust disease, found on the wheat and also on the barberry. Now, and according to the region, it has different types of the names. For example, Ratty, Gerua and Tambera. Now these are the different names of this rust disease, that is Ratty, Gerua and Tambera according to the region. Now next character, that is the heteroceous. The species of this Puccinia graminis tritici are heteroceous. That means they require the two different types of the host to complete its life cycle. So the first host, that is the primary host, or it is also called as the monocot host, and generally it is a wheat or rye or barley, and it also requires the secondary host, and this is the alternate or the secondary host. It is dicot host, and generally it is a barberry plant. So these are the species which complete their life cycle on the two different types of the host. Then such species are called as the heteroceous. Now here in Puccinia graminis tritici, it requires the two different types of the host to complete its life cycle. Some stages of its life cycle are completed on the primary host. It is also called as the monocot host, and its example are wheat, rye, barley, etc. Grasses are also there. And some stages of life cycle are completed on another host which is called as the alternate or the dicot host, and the example is the barberry. Now next character, that is the Atosius. Now its example is the Puccinia graminis tritici. So this Puccinia graminis tritici, it requires the two different types of the host, that is the monocot and the dicot. Such species are called as the heteroceous species. Now there are some autoceous species. They requires only one host to complete its life cycle, and the example is Puccinia aspera. That means it requires only one host, and that host is the asparagus. All the stages, they are completed on only one host, and the example is Puccinia aspera, and it requires only one host which is called as the asparagus. Now next character, macrocyclic. Or it is also called as the long cycle. Now here the life cycle of this Puccinia graminis tritici is represented by all the different types of the 5 stages, and these stages are iridospore, teletospore, basidospore, pycnospore and acetospore. So all of these spores, when they are present, then it is called as the macrocyclic, or it is also called as the long cycle, because this life cycle is represented by the 5 stages. Now second, that is the microcyclic, or it is also called as the demicyclic. Now this life cycle is completed by 3 or 4 stages in the life cycle, and generally iridospore is absent and rest of the spore stages are present, and generally they are 3 to 4. Now next character, that is the polymorphic. That means the life cycle shows different types of the stages, and here in Puccinia graminis tritici there are the 5 stages, 5 spore stages are there. So this life cycle is also called as the polymorphic life cycle. Now next, that is the stages. Now according to the Loudon in 1973, there are the 5 spore stages are found in the life cycle of the Puccinia graminis tritici, and these are these are the different 5 stages found in the life cycle of the Puccinia, and these stages are according to the Loudon in 1973. In 1973. Now according to him, the stage number 1, which is called as the stage 0, and it is the pycnospore or the spermagonia. Then stage first, it is the Asia with the aciospore. That is the stage second, it is the Uridia with the iridospore. Then third, stage number 3, that is the Talia with the teletospore. And last stage, that is the stage number 4, and it is called as the Basidia with the basidiospore. Now about the mycelium. The life cycle of Puccinia graminis tritici shows the 2 different types of the mycelial stages. That is the dikaryophase, that is the dikaryotic mycelium, and haplophase, that is the monokaryotic mycelium. So mycelium number 1, dikaryophase, dikaryotic mycelium. It is also called as the dikaryophase. And the mycelium is like this. In each cell, there are the 2 nuclei. Plus strain and minus strain. Cell wall, septal pore. Now this is the dikaryotic mycelium. Generally it is found on the primary host, that is on the wheat lip. Now in each cell there are the 2 nuclei, and from these 2 nuclei, one is of the plus strain and another is of the minus strain, and they are septate, and there is the septal pore is also. Now this is about the dikaryotic mycelium. Now second, that is the monokaryotic mycelium. Now this is the monokaryotic mycelium. Nucleus, it is a plus or minus strain. Cell wall. Now this is the monokaryotic mycelium, and generally it is found on the dicot host, that is on the alternate or on the secondary host, for example barberry. Now here in each cell of the mycelia there is the single nucleus. It is the plus strain or the minus strain, and according to this, that mycelium is called as the plus strain mycelium or minus strain mycelium, and in each septa there is the septal pore. Now this is the monokaryotic mycelium, which completes the 2 stages in the life cycle. Now about the reproduction. It is obligate endoparasite. So this Puccinia is the obligate endoparasite, and it is found in the wheat and also in the barberry. And it is, as it is a parasite, it takes the ready-made food material with the help of haustoria, and haustoria are also of the 2 different types like this. Now mycelia develop the 2 different types of the haustoria. Number 1, that is the knob-like haustoria, and second, that is the finger-like haustoria. Both these haustoria absorb the ready-made food material from the host. Host may be the primary or the secondary host. So this is about the nutrition.